Hello, students of class 7, 8, and 9. Good afternoon. So, I am taking the topic today from class 7th. Okay, this is the 8th lesson, that is measurement of time and motion. So, the first topic that I am going to cover, because I know the final exams are approaching and you must be working on the final, the last few 5, 6 chapters. So, I have taken this chapter today. Okay, now the measurement of time. Okay, you know that earlier when there were no devices like clocks, okay, calendar watches, water clocks, sun dials, people used to measure the time with respect to the rising and setting of the sun, the phases of the moon, and the changing seasons. Okay, changing seasons, rising, setting of the sun, and the phases of the moon. So now later on, some equipments, the calendars were devised. After the calendars came into the picture, there were some other methods. Okay, we use sundials, water clocks, hour glasses, and candle clocks. Okay, so the method, you can go through the book. In sundial, you know that the time is determined by the changing position of the shadow. The water clocks, we use the flow of into the vessel and out from the vessel. And then the hourglass, the time is measured on the basis of the flow of the sand from one bulb to the other. And candle clocks में क्या होता है? There are candles with markings that is indicated with the passage of time when burnt. Okay, so these are the simple methods that have been shown. Okay, how this is the method how you can construct a simple water clock. So for making, you have to cut it into two roughly, okay, in the two parts, then make a hole in the cap of the bottle. Then place the upper part of the bottle in an inverted position. Fill the upper part. You may add some, drops of dye or some ink or some color. The water start dripping down into the lower part of the bottle. Mark the level of the water after every minute till all the water drips down. Okay, I hope you understand. Now, this is the Huygens pendulum clock. Okay, so this was the development of better mechanical devices where we are measuring the time driven by the weights, okay, gears, springs from the, and now the invention of pendulum clock in the 17th century. This is given a major breakthrough. So why the name is Huygens pendulum? Because it was invented by the scientist Christian Huygens, and he was very inspired by the investigation of the pendulum by Galileo. Okay, so he was very inspired by Galileo. Now children, let's come to the small topic and very interesting part, a simple pendulum. Pendulum hota kya hai? Okay, a pendulum, you can see it consists of a small metallic ball which is called as the bob of the pendulum. It is suspended from a long thread. Okay, so the pendulum during the rest position is known as the mean position. You can see in the center when the bob of the pendulum is moved slightly from one side and then it is released. So it is in covering the oscillatory motion. It is the number of oscillations that it is covering. Okay, so this motion is called as oscillatory or periodic in nature. Why it is called periodic? Because it repeats its path after a certain fixed interval of time. So the AO is the mean position, and when it goes left and right, these are A and B are called as the extreme positions. Okay, so from the extreme position to another extreme position, and then it comes back to the time A, to the extreme position A. So what is time period? You can learn that the time which is taken by the pendulum to complete one oscillation. Okay, when the pendulum, whatever time the pendulum takes to complete one oscillation, that means from extreme position A till extreme position B and then back to the extreme position A. That is called as my time period. Okay, now let's come to these are some modern clocks. You know that they use very tiny and very rapid vibrations from a crystal clock or atomic clocks also. Early pendulum clocks, they could also gain or lose some 10 seconds. Okay, the atomic clocks are so precise. Precise means very, very accurate, that they lose only 1 second in millions of years. So you know that atomic clocks are very precise. Scientists are searching for even better clocks, better ways to measure the time with great accuracy. Now, children, time. What is time? You know, the time that is being taken for the pendulum to take complete one oscillation. Now, the SI unit is measured in seconds, and the symbol you all know is small s. So, 60 minutes make up 1 hour and 60 seconds make up 1 minute. Now, coming over to the slow and fast. Now, how fast a substance is moving or an object is moving, that is called as whether this object is moving slowly or fastly. So, the distance covered by a particular object in a unit time is called as the speed of the object. And the speed is calculated. You must make down the notes during your final exam preparation, because these will help you to revise and consume less of your time during the when you will be getting 1 or 2 days while you are preparing for the writing the exam. Okay, so the total distance covered divided by the total time taken. If the total distance is covered in meters and the time is measured in seconds, then it is meters per second, the unit of speed. If the distance is measured in kilometers and the time is measured in hours, then we measure the speed as kilometer per hour. Okay, you can catch hold of my next video where I'll be taking these two sums from the NCERT. Okay, NCERT is my Bible book. I go through this. So these two explanations I'll be taking on the board. You can refer to my next video. So you also know that if you have to calculate the distance, you have to cross multiply the two things, that is the speed multiplied by the total time taken. Okay, these calculations I'm going to show you. Now, coming to the average speed. The object might not have traveled with the same speed during the entire location or duration of the time. The object might have sometimes moved slower or sometimes faster, even when we are driving the car on the road. The same thing happens. The speed that we have calculated is called as the average speed or the average speed, and this is measured with the help of the speedometer. There is another instrument called as the odometer. This, children, you can, when you are sitting with your mothers and fathers in your scooter or motorbikes or cars, you can see, have a look at the speedometer and odometer. So the distance travel will be in kilometers. Now the last topic that we come is the uniform and the non-uniform linear motion. You know what is linear motion? Okay, when it is moving in a straight line, an apple falling from a tree, that is an example of a linear motion. A train moving or a car, moving on the road. A train on the track, which is just a straight line in between the two railway stations. This is also a linear motion. So when an object, they can ask you what is the difference between uniform and non-uniform linear motion. An object, when it moves along the straight path, why straight path? Because we are talking about the linear motion, which is of two part types, uniform and non-uniform. So when straight line, the object is moving with a constant speed. The constant speed here means same speed. There are no fluctuations up and down. Then it is called as uniform linear motion. But if the speed of an object which is moving along the straight path, it keeps on changing. कभी fast हो रहा है, कभी slow हो रहा है, कभी कम हो रहा है, कभी ज़्यादा हो रहा है. Then it is said to be that the motion covered by an object is a non-uniform linear motion. So you can see the example here. The train X and train Y, the distance that is covered in every 10 minutes, see 20 kilometers, 20, 20, 20, 20. So the same distance is covered in the same time. So uniform motion is covered by train X. And train Y, sometimes it is going up 20, sometimes it is 25, and sometimes it is even going down in 15 up to 15 kilometers. So this, the distance covered by train Y, is called as a non-uniform linear motion. So the key points, okay, the time taken by the pendulum to complete one oscillation is called as the time period. The time period of a simple pendulum of a given length is constant at a place. The SI unit of time is second, small s. The average speed is the total distance covered by the total time taken. An object moving along the straight line with a constant speed is called as a uniform linear motion. If the speed of an object keeps on changing, then it is said to be non-uniform motion. Okay, so do catch up for the next video that I'll be covering the numerical sums. Okay, I hope you have a complete idea of this lesson, measurement of time and motion, in just 10 to 11 minutes. So all the best, enjoy well for your class, for your exams, for your class test and your final tests. Okay, good luck, bye bye.